You want to read some real cowboy shit? Sleep with the Scorpions by David C. Millay. It's this guy. Full of hate, pain, vengeance, and cowboy shit. This book is so fucking outlaw, it came to my town and it shot me and my entire family. For no reason. This book is so fucking Western, it's past California. This fucking book is so goddamn cowboy. It went to Dallas and beat the shit out of Emmitt Smith. I don't even know if he still lives there. It doesn't fucking matter. He was on Dancing with the Stars, and that's not very football at all. But we're not talking football. We're talking Westerns, cowboys. We're talking Sleep with the Scorpions. Full title, Sleep with the Scorpions, bitch. But we had to censor it a little bit for you little pussies out there, you little bitch boys, because this fucking book is so fucking hardcore, it'll come to your house, take your wife, punch her in the goddamn mouth until she spits out bloody chiclets. And that's not being misogynistic, because then she's gonna go to your ass and take you, the man that you are, and fucking defile you in front of her and make you look like the little bitch that you are. This fucking book is so goddamn intense, it's like camping. This fucking book will change your life, and not for the good. So why would you buy it? Because you're a fucking masochist and you want your life to get fucked up. You want your shit to get fucked up. You want Sleep with the Scorpions by David C. Millay. You want this novella. It's not even long enough to be a novel. You know why? Because I don't have that kind of time, that kind of attention span. This book gets to the point. It doesn't meander in the details. It doesn't over-describe everything. It is a tale of revenge, and it starts with the hero coming back from the fucking grave. He was buried alive and left to die. He comes back up, and he goes straight for the fucking throat. Back to the town of Rose, where these fucking people are terrorizing the place. Does he really give a fuck about that place anymore? No. All he cares about is fucking revenge, cowboy vengeance. That is what this book is about. It is a horror western because it's got fucked up horror graphic violence in there. This has shit that not just a western can handle. You have to put in a horror element because of how fucked up and terrifying this fucking book is. This book will fucking fuck you in the fucking fuckhole. This is rated. Yeah, you should. Kids should not read this. This is kids. Yeah, this is. This has some coarse language, a little bit of violence, and it doesn't give a goddamn about you. This book for $10 on Amazon.com, $2.99 digital, if that's your kind of thing. But this is what the physical soft cover looks like. And it's about 200 some pages full of fuck you violence. That's what it is. Like I said, this book will ruin your goddamn life. And not just because I am illiterate and can't read or write worth a damn. Not because everything is piss poorly written. But because of how fucking violent and over the top graphic this fucking book is, with artwork by Rachel Rodolphe. Isn't that just fantastic? I mean, it's worth buying for that alone. But this fucking book, let me tell you, I had written a book when I graduated high school, 2005, a book of poetry, song titles, and shit. Didn't sell, nobody liked it, impossible to find. It's bullshit. I took that failure and didn't write for 15 goddamn years. And then one day, thanks to my friend Trevor Palmer, getting me into westerns, especially spaghetti westerns, the more violent kind, and watching a bunch of those with Clint Eastwood, Lee Van Cleef, all the greats. And that inspired me, and Trevor inspired me, because he has written many books himself under many different pen names. All amazing. Especially check out the Gunman series. But this just poured the fuck out of me. This story poured out of me, and I wrote down chapters. That's why the chapters are kind of short, because I wrote them when I had time. And I just wrote it as it came to me, And this fucker poured out of my soul for about a week. Like the blood's gonna pour out of your goddamn face from reading it. You're gonna be reading, and every time you're gonna end a chapter, you're gonna notice blood running down your fucking face. And it's gonna ruin the goddamn pages and bleed through, and then you're gonna have to buy another goddamn copy. So maybe you should get the digital version. But then it's gonna stain your phone, and you're not gonna be able to see shit there either. This fucking book is going to cause you so many problems, so much torment. It is going to fucking lose your mail. You're going to be losing at least one sock from every pair in the goddamn dryer. And it is this fucking book's fault. This fucking book. This is not a book. This is a fucking book, because it is going to bend you over your goddamn table, and it is going to do things to you that you would not even think were physically possible. Because this fucking book is going to take a goddamn shovel, you're going to be disheveled, but it's going to take a fucking shovel upside your goddamn head, and it's going to bury you the fuck alive, so you know what it's like for the main character in this. Big Fats Washington. Funny sounding name. You won't be fucking laughing when you're reading it, because you're going to be so goddamn piss ass scared. You're going to be pissing out your ass, ruining your fucking jeans, and then you're going to have to explain to everybody why you only own one pair of jeans, and now it's all covered in piss on the backside where your ass is. It's one thing to piss your pants in the front, but how are you going to explain to your mother and your father and your children and your wife, your significant other, your neighbor, your mailman, how are you going to explain to them why there are piss stains on the ass end of your fucking jeans? You're going to say, it was Sleep with the Scorpions by David C. Millay. Got it off Amazon. And you know what? It's actually pretty well written. Pretty entertaining. Gets to the point. Great characters. A lot of them are based on friends and people that I know. Because that's how I write best. That doesn't mean that's their character, because I'm pretty sure none of them are cowboys that have shot anybody. That I can prove anyway. And Big Fats Washington is inspired by me, even though he's like in his 50s or 60s and, you know, comes back from the grave. And I feel like that some days, like I wake up and I just feel like shit, like I was buried alive. But I wasn't, because they don't make caskets that fucking big, because I'm a big fat son of a bitch. And you know why? Because I wrote this fucking book, and then the end product just made me start eating and eating and eating until I got to this size. I used to be a fucking women's size 5. Is that small? I don't know. I don't know women's sizes. I don't fucking know. I shouldn't have even said that. But you know what? I'm just making all this shit off the top of my head because I'm that goddamn good. I'm that goddamn good, and you'll know once you read Sleep with the Scorpions by David C. Millay. You're going to see how good of a fucking writer I am. And you know why? I don't know. I don't have any fucking self-esteem. I don't say good things about myself. So it's really weird that I'm saying this right now. But I'm coming from a fucking honest place, because I'm an honest goddamn man. Even though I have a fucking neckerchief on because it's 2020 and I think I'm a goddamn cowboy living in Wapakoneta, Ohio. Yeah, that's where all the fucking cowboys came from. Fucking Ohio. I remember watching Gunsmoke and shit back in the day, and it's like, holy fuck. It all takes place in Ohio. The Wild West was in fucking Ohio. What am I talking about? Doesn't matter. You should buy this fucking book. This fucking book right here. When you die, the last thing you will see is this fucking book. And then when you go to heaven or hell or limbo or Detroit, wherever the fuck you're going, it doesn't matter, because this book is going to follow you. It is going to haunt you past the grave, and it's all you're ever going to be able to fucking think about, because it is that goddamn good. Sleep with the motherfucking Scorpions. Buy it now. Amazon.com. Physical, digital, doesn't matter. $10. If you have Prime, it is $10 free shipping. Hell of a deal for 200 plus pages. And this fucking awesome artwork, this will look amazing on your fucking shelf. Did I mention that Christmas is coming up soon? Fantastic gift for anyone. Because if they say they don't like it, or, oh, I don't like Westerns, you know what? I fucking hated Westerns my entire life. Then I actually gave them a shot. And you know what? If you're a horror fan, you will love this because of the graphic violence that you love in your horror movies and stories. You get that in here. Plus, just a lot of fucked up extreme stuff happens in this goddamn book. You will not be disappointed. Horror fan, action fan, teen, romantic, rom-com comedies, you might be a little disappointed in it, but it doesn't matter, because once you read this fucking book, you're gonna be a fan of goddamn westerns. You are going to love this fucking book. Sleep with the Scorpions. That's what you're gonna be doing when it's done. When you are done reading it, you will fucking die. You will read the end on the last page, and you will fucking pass away. You will be dead. And this book will be right next to your goddamn body. The coroner will be like, well, fuck, it was the book, obviously. I mean, look at that goddamn. Then he'll read the book, and then he'll fucking die. And then they'll have to do a whole nother election to get a new county coroner. It's gonna be a huge fucking deal. This book is worse than the coronavirus. This is worse than COVID-19. This is written by COVID-19 Malay. Sleep with the Scorpions is worse than a goddamn pandemic. And I'd really appreciate it if you guys would buy this. And if you have bought the book already and you liked it, even if you didn't, please leave a review on Amazon or even on Facebook. You can go to facebook.com/everybodydieshorribly. That's where my production company is. That's where I do all my shows, all these videos. That's where I post all this bullshit. So if you want more info about the book, please go there. I also am writing a sequel eventually. I gotta wait till I have the time to get into it. Like I said, this took me 15 years to write. I mean, it took me a week to write, but it took me 15 years to get past writer's block and actually write something. So I'd really appreciate it. I think it really shows quality over quantity, and I think that whole time it was actually worth it for how good this book came out. I surprised myself, and like I mentioned before, I have no self-esteem, so I'd really appreciate it, guys. And leave a review on there, on Facebook, Amazon, wherever. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate it. The sequel, I've said very little about it to anybody, but I will tell you right now that the sequel is called Paper Coffins. And I'm going to let this be out. I'm still trying to sell it, so I'm going to let this be out for a while before I start work on that. And I'm being very hush-hush about it, but I'll give you guys the exclusive just for sticking through and watching this long-ass video of me just ranting about nothing. But you know what? That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do to sell a goddamn book. You got to be intense. So you have to go out into the woods, inside of a fucking tent, and go camping. Why? Because wordplay and puns. That's my life. A fucking joke. You know what's not a goddamn joke? Sleep with the Scorpions by David C. Malay. Fucking buy it. Go to goddamn Amazon and fucking buy this goddamn book. I'd appreciate it. Thank you for watching.